Hi, welcome back to Uncle Mike's cooking show again. We've had quite a long layoff. Haven't done one since last winter. Usually in the summertime I don't like to spend a lot of time in the house cooking. Been doing a lot of barbecuing. It's September 2017. We just came off a 2-week run of over 105-degree temperatures here. And now that it's 80, it almost feels like winter. So I thought I would do another cooking show. We're having people over in a little while, like in a couple hours. I'm going to make a Greek dish that I found on Allrecipes. It's called Greek stuffed tomatoes and peppers, and then it has in parentheses Yemista, Y-E-M-I-S-T-A, so I guess that's the Greek name for it. Starting off, these are our tomatoes and peppers, and I did most of the food prep ahead, but I'll just show you what I did with the tomatoes. You cut the top of the tomato, but not all the way out. And then you, not all the way off, because you want a lid. You want these things to have lids. And then you dig out all this meat here in the tomato. And you put it in a bowl, which is what I did here. And then you basically do the same thing with the stuffed pepper. Pull out all the membranes and the seeds, and you cut this stuff out here, right here. And what I did was I cut through on the top from the inside. I cut on the bottom and made like a little hole, and then that helped me pull everything out. And that prepares the stuffed peppers in order to be stuffed, and they're all going to have little lids on them. I'm supposed to save these and use them as a lid. So here's basically what I did getting ready for show prep. You can kind of see the tomatoes all have their little tops here, and I've got the tops back on the counter for the stuffed peppers. So doing that first, then you preheat the oven to 375, which I'm going to do now. I think I set that for 390. Let me set that for 375. And we're going to, I looked up a couple of recipes on how to do this with the meat here. And I'm going to ask my assistant, Patty. Some said to puree it, others said to kind of just mash it up with the masher here, which doesn't seem to be working too well. You think I ought to use that impeller on this? Or do you think I should use the little food processor thing we have and try to puree it more?
Yeah, I think you should puree it.
Okay, so we're going to use the magic bullet then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's for the NutriBullet you've got there.
Oh, okay.
The magic bullet has the smaller thing there.
Okay. Well, once I find the, well, here's the NutriBullet, right?
Yeah, that'll just turn it into juice, though. You need to.
The magic bullet.
The magic bullet will puree it.
Well, that's what this says on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to puree this a little bit, and we'll be right back, and we're going to start cooking the hamburger for the stuffing. All right. Okay, we're back. We got the tomatoes all juiced up and used in the magic bullet, so that'll be one of the last things that goes in. This is an onion and a couple cloves of garlic. Threw some butter in there. We're going to brown this, cook it for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to start adding more ingredients. So we'll just let the onions cook here for about 10 minutes, get them translucent, and add the rest of the ingredients. Okay, Uncle Mike again. We got the onions about where we want them. Now it's time for 4 more ingredients. A little bit of salt, a little dash of salt.
Oh, that's more than a dash.
More than a dash, I'm being told. A little dash of pepper. Some soy sauce. It's in the recipe how much, I forget. I think it was 2 tablespoons or so. And the recipe called for 2 pounds of meat. I'm going to put in just a little bit over. I'll put in about 2 pounds. This is a 3-pound thing of hamburger from Rayleigh's. I'm going to put that in, and we're going to brown the hamburger And we'll be back when we add the tomatoes and rice. Okay, we're back. We've got the hamburger. It's been browning about 10 minutes. It looks good. Now you're probably wondering, what's this other pan doing on here? Come over here. There, okay. If you look in here, one of our guests tonight cannot eat beef. So we are making turkey right here. So I'm going to basically make a double batch of this, and she's going to have a pepper and a tomato that's stuffed with turkey meat. And if you'll notice, oh, too high. Get it back down to simmer. If you notice, I've got two different utensils. The utensils are not cross-contaminating anything to keep the person that who's related to my cameraman here, to keep her from having any hamburger or juices or anything. Camera woman. So the next step is to add the tomato meat that we pureed up. So I don't want to. We added that. We're going to let this simmer for 15 minutes, and let that simmer for 15 minutes, and then hopefully my camera woman will be back. She has to go do something to get ready. We're going to put in 1.5 cups of rice. So we're going to show that right there. We're going to let this simmer for 15 minutes. Then we add the rice. We bring it to a boil, and then we let it simmer some more. And then we're ready to stuff the tomatoes and the peppers. So we're almost done with this dish. Then we have to go right into the dessert dish, which has to be done by 2 o'clock because it needs 4 hours of refrigeration. So we have a tight timeline, but we're going to make it. Okay, I'm back. The only part you missed due to the absence of the camera woman was when I put the rice in, like I said I was going to. I put the rice in and I let it cook for about, boiled it for about 5 minutes. It just went into the whole mixture, the whole skillet with the hamburger and the tomato paste, the tomato stuff and all that. I cooked it for about 5 minutes. I took it off, tasted it. It was still a little bit hard. And I'm not sure if the rice is going to cook while it's in the oven or not, but I went back, cooked it about 5-10 more minutes, and then I took it off. And if you come over here, this is what we're going to make the peppers. We're going to stuff the peppers with, and we're going to stuff the tomatoes. Now, when I first took this out, there's a lot of liquid in here. This has been set in about a half hour so I could work with it, and a lot of that liquid's gone away. Not sure I like this. This may not have been the best idea, but here we go. Let's stuff it. Look at that. And we're going to put its little lid on. See that?
Yeah.
And we're going to take a tomato. Tomato has, not all the tomatoes have a hole in the bottom. This one does. But I think it's going to work out okay. And we're going to stuff it. And we're going to drizzle, of course, olive oil on it, right?
Your favorite.
My fave. It says lay them on their sides. I'm not really sure what they mean like that. I'm going to cook it for 30 minutes, check it, and maybe move them around a little bit, cook them for 30 more. And I'm also going to take some potatoes and just a couple red potatoes, a couple yellow ones, just wedge them and put them in there. And should be good. And that's it. I'm going to prep the peppers. Next time you see them, they'll be coming out of the oven. They'll cook probably for about an hour is what I'm expecting. Now we have to go on to the next video to make the dessert. Thank you. Okay, so here we are. We took it out. This is what the Yemista looks like. You can see the potato wedges I put in. I cooked it probably about an hour and 20 minutes. Opened it up a couple times, the oven, and I put some more garlic oil, a little bit of water in there to give it something to cook on. You know, all came out good. And then our family members came over, and we're going to eat outside on the patio. And here's our family members, what their plates look like. There's Randy already ate.
Mine's already done.
Yeah,
That's how good it is.
Gonna go back for seconds.
I have both a tomato and and a green pepper along with some salad. Oh, there's my camera woman. There's Bonnie. She's having turkey in hers, so she was the one we had the extra frying pan for, and we had to go through all the extra trouble.
This is how it looks when you're. This is
Oh, with the little
with the little top.
with the little top on. Oh, there's my brother-in-law. There's my mom-in-law. Say hi, Peggy.
Hi.
Okay, bye.
It's delicious.
Oh,
I heard it.
good.